So it's been a few days since Mann Co Store got hijacked and lost $200,000 worth of customer items, and there's been a few updates. If you've checked the website anytime recently, you'll see that it's actually back up, but that's not all. I managed to gain access to the Discord for Mann Co Store, which I wasn't in when I made the first video, and in there's an announcements channel that has a bunch of updates about the whole thing, a bunch of their thoughts and what they're going to be doing about the hijacking. So today I wanted to update you guys as much as I possibly can on the things that I think are the most important to us lot who might actually be using the site, or anybody who has skins deposited on the site. So to start with, it turns out that 200 grand that got stolen only affected 0.01% of all Manco users. That blows my mind a little bit. 200 grand of items can be stolen and 99.9% of all of the people selling items on the site were completely unaffected. That is ridiculous. But what reading that made me feel is that this hopeless feeling I felt surrounding the whole thing, and that I saw from Twitter surrounding the hijacking, wasn't really the same feeling the staff at the Mann Co Store felt. They seemed to be very quick to shut down all the other bots, meaning nothing else got stolen. And to be fair, they were pretty quick with sorting out what they were going to be doing after that. They weren't wallowing in oh, how did this happen to us kind of thing. It was right, how do we fix it and carry on with a business? Which I like seeing. Basically, it seems like their antivirus system accidentally uploaded a file for Manco. I don't really know what the file was. It was an MA file. I'm not a computer guy. I don't know. Basically, the file was downloaded by a hacker group back in 2023, and they planned an attack which took place on the 19th of January. So that is how that kind of hijacking started. As to what Valve have decided to do about it, because that's what I was waiting to hear from in the last video, are we all surprised when I say that Valve are going to be doing nothing to help the trades be reverted? Now, to be fair, this was to be expected from Valve and Steam because they've been pretty strict on this rule ever since they brought it in, where they don't revert trades regardless of whether you were on the account making it or not, because technically your account has made the trade. And then if they start reverting trades and everything like that, they could be pulling items out of inventories that have bought them fairly. It's a mess, really. It's an absolute mess. So even in extreme cases like this one, Valve aren't going to step in and try and bail them out. It's harsh, but Valve do need to be consistent with at least one thing that they do, to be fair. Okay, so Valve aren't giving back these items. So what are Mann Co Store themselves doing about these stolen items? And what are they doing to compensate the people who might have had their stuff stolen? Well, any item under a $1,000 value has basically been refunded to the owner in the form of Mann Co Store wallet funds, essentially acting as though the item the customer had listed was sold for the price they had it on there for. It was on the site to sell for money anyway. They've got that money now. I quite like that. It is personally quite a nice, tidy way of doing things, in my opinion. You're not trying to give these customers their items back. You're just literally acting as though you've bought it off them and they get the money for it that they had it on there for anyway. That, I think, people won't be unhappy with. Now, for those people who were selling items at above $1,000, they have been basically asked to contact Mann Co Store support to try and work something out. I would assume that they would be paying close to what the customers had listed their items at, but not quite, just because the prices at that range and over $1,000 in TF2 stuff can go a little bit ridiculous. Obviously, from their business side, they don't want to be overpaying for a bunch of stuff for people listing things higher because they think they can get it. That is a bit of a more tricky situation to figure out, but I have faith and I am really hoping that Mann Co Store is trying to do right by these people, as their items being stolen is not their fault. And to be fair, if they didn't do their best to do what's right by their customers, it really wouldn't look good for them in the long run. So better to keep the customers happy. Now, I didn't want to go too much in detail about this entire thing in this video because a lot of the information that was shared in the announcement channel, it didn't really relate to me, or it wasn't really stuff I thought was necessary as the most important things to share with whoever watches this video. For this whole situation, realistically, people care more about what's happening with the items and if Valve are going to be doing anything. And they were the most important answers that I got from that Discord. If you are interested in all of the other stuff that they talked about in their updates and announcements though, then I definitely recommend joining the Mann Co Store Discord and giving it a read. It sounds like they've got everything under control now and nothing like this will be ever happening again, hopefully. Still blows my mind that it's only 0.01% of the people who have been affected, and that's worth 200 grand. But hey, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.